What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol SOFI for SoFi Technologies. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First thing to point out is that this is more of an update since we covered it recently, so let's talk about what's going on with the chart. Obviously, we got a gap down and a gap and go, essentially, meaning we did move lower with the direction of the gap here inside of SoFi. We've pretty much come directly into all of the areas of support that we had mapped out. We called 1416, went right to it at that low. Today we had 1347, and we pretty much came within a couple pennies of that on today's low. So all things considered, those levels worked pretty well. If we scrunch this chart up, what you'll notice though is that it's not looking so good if we start to break down underneath 1347. The next major area that I would call out would probably be right around here. So we have 13 the whole dollar, and then of course the consolidation lows from this little blip on the radar back here around $11.82. So getting back into more recent price history, doing something like this, of course what we don't want to see is this upper wick that's essentially formed on SoFi. What that's telling us is that sellers are stepping up and selling any bit of pop that is happening, or buyers who were long from up here, they're looking to get out of their position into strength, right? So as this moves higher, they're just selling their position, looking to recoup some of the losses depending on where their entry was, right? So the daily candle is not really so great for a bullish outlook. Also, this increasing selling volume is not what you want to see. Whenever you see consolidation or general pullbacks in a marketplace that you want to be bullish on, of course, you want the selling activity to remain low, the consolidation volume to remain low, and that's not the case here on SoFi. So I do think it could have a little bit of more red in the tank, if you will. Now zooming in and looking at the 30-minute time frame chart, now what can we notice and pull away from this? I'm going to do that so it's not going to adjust. And then of course the main thing I want to point out to you is the resistance trend line, just the continual lower highs that we're making. You can do something like this and you can see those three connect fairly perfectly, right? So coming in from our high, this is touch 1 and touch 2 here. If we get any bounces, you should look to be a seller at this point in time. So 1416, good super resistance, look to go short at that area to continue this little downtrend. What would the target be? Well, first, this low, so right in here, I would just call it that 1350 mark, and then underneath that, you're looking for the next major level, which we discussed is around 13. Remembering that if we go over to our trade dab, we can see that this is easy to borrow. You can do it with shares, and our option interest is fairly good, and the volume is also good on the in the money puts here. So it is something you can trade to the short side with some size. So be aware of that. There is opportunity there. I'm not going to say that this couldn't give us a little bit of a dead cat bounce, but I do think today's activity would have done that, right? We did see that pop early on, and it was sold. That was the dead cat bounce that we were essentially looking for, and it was sold hard. So let's go ahead and map out with our Fibonacci's as we always do from the low of this move up to the high, and just see what happened. Obviously on the pop and sell, and then that rebound, you can see as noted by that upper wick. If I just squeeze this chart in here a little bit better, there we go. So this is the upper wick I'm referring to. It rejected at the 38.2. So that's not what you want to see happen. Obviously, we moved lower from there. So what we'll do is put the Fibonacci's on the entire day's range, going from high all the way down to the low. And were we even able to get into the 38.2 by close? Absolutely not, right? So on this bounce, pretty weak and closed kind of mid-range of this, which we know is the healthy range of consolidation for continuation in whatever direction we're looking at. So SoFi, not really looking so hot into the rest of the week. Again, I'm not saying it couldn't do something like a little dead cat bounce, but I just wouldn't be looking at this name for any long entries until we see solid signs of reversal. So if you enjoyed today's video, if you learned anything new, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.